"Don't move. This will fix your hair," one of them said, laughing. The iron hissed. The smell of burning filled the air. Amara froze, every muscle locked in disbelief. Her curls, the same ones she'd spent years learning to love, singed before her eyes. Laughter echoed off the marble walls, cold and cruel. No one stepped in. No one said a word. Then the door opened. A voice calm but thunderous broke the silence. "Is this how you treat my wife?" They had no idea who they'd just crossed. Welcome, story lovers. From where are you watching? Hit the like button and drop your city name in the comments so we can see how far our story travels. It was a crisp Saturday morning in Manhattan, the kind of day that shimmered with quiet luxury. The glass doors of Léon Lumière, an exclusive salon known for serving only the city's elite, slid open to welcome its next client. She walked in quietly, Amara Lewis, poised, radiant, and effortlessly elegant in a soft beige coat. Her presence turned heads, not because she demanded attention, but because she carried herself with quiet confidence, the kind that made people curious. Amara wasn't just any woman walking into that salon. She was a former architect turned philanthropist, known for her calm grace and her deep brown curls, thick, coiled, and unapologetically natural. Her hair was her pride, a symbol of years spent embracing her identity in a world that often told her to hide it. She had an appointment that day for a simple treatment. Nothing extravagant. Just a bit of self-care after another long week of charity work and public events. The salon glowed with marble floors, soft jazz, and the scent of imported oils. Yet, as Amara entered, a subtle shift rippled through the air. The kind of silence that isn't loud but heavy. 3 women sat across the room, their designer handbags gleaming under the lights. They were regulars, the kind of socialites who treated the salon like a runway. Their eyes darted toward Amara, first in curiosity, then in quiet judgment. One leaned toward another, whispering behind a manicured hand. A muffled laugh followed. The receptionist smiled, but it didn't reach her eyes. Amara felt it, that cold, invisible wall of unspoken prejudice. She'd thought it before, but she brushed it off as she always did. After all, she was here for peace, not to prove herself. What she didn't know was that this visit, this ordinary salon appointment, would become the moment the world saw just how cruel privilege could be, and how swiftly power can turn when truth walks in. Amara took her seat near the window, where the morning sun poured across the polished floor. A young stylist approached her with a gentle smile. But before she could begin, one of the 3 women, tall, blonde, and draped in diamonds, raised her voice just enough to be heard. "Excuse me," she said, pretending to stretch. "Isn't that chair reserved for clients?" The words floated through the air like perfume, sweetly spoken but poisonous underneath. The others chuckled. The stylist hesitated, glancing nervously between them and Amara. Amara offered a polite smile. "I have an appointment," she said softly. But her calmness only fueled their mockery. "An appointment?" another woman said, her lips curling. "With who? The janitor?" Their laughter echoed off the marble walls. Even the receptionist looked away, pretending to be busy with her computer. Amara felt that familiar burn in her chest, not from anger, but from exhaustion. She'd faced this before. Boardrooms that questioned her qualifications, conferences where she was mistaken for an assistant. Still, she had promised herself long ago she wouldn't shrink for anyone. The stylist started preparing the tools, and Amara relaxed slightly. But the women weren't done. They began whispering louder, making sure their words filled the air. "It's just unprofessional," one said. "That hair. It's like she doesn't even try." "Maybe she can't afford proper treatments," another added, twirling a strand of her own straightened hair. A third scoffed. "Honestly, it's wild. Like it's been electrocuted." Amara's hands tightened around her purse. The stylist froze mid-motion, torn between doing her job and the uncomfortable tension in the room. When Amara declined a straightening service, insisting she wanted to keep her natural curls, the blonde woman laughed out loud. "Oh, come on, sweetheart," she said mockingly. "We're doing you a favor. You'll thank us later." Before Amara could respond, they stood, all three of them, circling like they owned the place. One grabbed the heated iron from the counter, twirling it like a toy. The stylist stepped back, stammering something about boundaries and safety, but the women ignored her. "Let's show her what real hair looks like," one sneered. Amara stood up, voice calm but firm. "Please step away." But they didn't. The first woman reached forward, gripping a lock of Amara's curls between her manicured fingers. The iron hissed, steam rising as it came dangerously close to her hair. Amara flinched. "Don't touch me," they laughed. "Relax, we're just helping." Then a sizzle. A sharp burning smell filled the room. A dark curl fell to the floor. Gasps erupted. The stylist cried out, rushing forward, but was pushed aside. Amara froze, the world narrowing into that single, horrifying moment, the sound of laughter blending with the hiss of heat. Her vision blurred. She wasn't just humiliated. She was violated. The salon manager appeared, flustered and apologetic, but still hesitant to confront the women. After all, they were regulars and powerful ones at that. "Let's all calm down," he stammered. This is just a misunderstanding." Amara stared at him in disbelief. A misunderstanding? Her hair still smoked at the ends. Her dignity was in ashes on the floor. The women tossed the iron back onto the counter, brushing off their dresses like nothing had happened. "Maybe next time she'll listen," one muttered. Amara gathered her things silently, her hands trembling, but not from fear anymore, from something colder, sharper. As she turned to leave, the sound of expensive heels clicked behind her. The door opened, and a deep, commanding voice broke through the tension. "Is this how you treat my wife?" The room fell silent. Every head turned, and for the first time that day, the laughter stopped. The salon froze. The three women, suddenly pale, turned toward the entrance. Standing in the doorway was Malik Lewis, tall, composed, and unmistakably powerful. His presence carried the quiet weight of someone used to commanding rooms far larger than this one. Behind him, two security personnel stood silently, their expressions unreadable. "Your wife?" one of the women stammered, her confidence collapsing under his gaze. Malik stepped forward, his eyes landing on Amara. The sight of her scorched hair made his jaw tighten. "Who did this?" he asked quietly. The softness of his tone only made the air heavier. No one spoke. The salon manager tried to mutter something about an unfortunate accident, but Malik raised a hand. "Stop," he turned toward the trio. "Do you know whose name is on the wall outside?" he asked, his voice calm, controlled. "Do you know who owns Léon Lumiere?" Their silence was answer enough. Malik looked to the staff. "Everyone, out." The stylists scattered, leaving only the three women, Amara and him. He took a step closer, eyes never leaving theirs. "You humiliated my wife. You burned her hair. You disrespected a woman whose only crime was existing in her truth." The blonde trembled, her voice breaking. We didn't know." "That's the problem," he said coldly. "You never see until it's too late." He reached for Amara's hand gently, guiding her toward the exit. Behind them, silence swallowed the room, the kind that follows when power shifts forever. Dear audience, where are you watching from? Drop your city name in the comments. The story spread before Amara even spoke. Within hours, the salon's name trended online, not for its luxury, but for its cruelty. Customers canceled appointments. Influencers who once flaunted their visits fell silent. The three women, once untouchable in their circles, faced a storm they couldn't control. Malik didn't need to make threats. His quiet withdrawal of sponsorships, partnerships, and brand collaborations spoke louder than any statement could. But for Amara, the damage wasn't just public. It was deeply personal. Standing before her mirror that night, she looked at the burnt strands of her hair and felt both pain and pride. Pain for what was done to her. Pride because she had stood her ground. Weeks later, she returned to that same salon, not as a client, but as the keynote speaker at a racial sensitivity and inclusion event Malik helped fund. The same marble floor that once echoed with cruel laughter now carried the sound of applause. Amara spoke gently, not with bitterness, but with truth. "What was burned wasn't my beauty," she said. "It was ignorance, scorched by the light of consequence." Her words rippled across social media, reminding millions that racism doesn't always wear a uniform or shout in the streets. Sometimes it whispers behind salon mirrors, masked as superiority, and so she chose not revenge, but reform, turning her humiliation into healing, because sometimes justice isn't loud. It's the quiet transformation that changes everything. Thanks for watching. Where are you tuning in from? Comment your city below and share this story if it moved you.